Hello, my name is Sonia, and today we're going to learn this really fun stitch pattern right here. So here it is on this side, and the other side looks nice on both sides. So we're going to get started. Alright, so you're going to need to have a foundation row. So I worked a foundation row of double crochet, and you're going to need an odd number. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double crochet that I started with. You could start with single crochet, half double crochet. It really doesn't matter. Depending on the pattern that you're making, you know, just choose the stitch that you want. So we're going to work on row 2. So to get started for row 2, we're going to chain 3. And we're going to turn. So we're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to work right in this stitch right here. Pull up our loop. We have 3 loops. We're going to yarn over again, pull through 2. So we're basically, it's almost like together stitches. We're working like cluster stitches, so they're connected. So this is like a half cluster is what I call it. So we're going to do a yarn over, and you're going to work in the very next stitch here. So you have 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 of those. So now we have the final 3. So we'll do a yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. So we've made 1 half cluster. Now we need to chain 1, and we've completed the half cluster there. So now we're going to yarn over. We're going to work right in this chain 1, the hole right there. So you're going to insert your hook, pull up your loop. We have 3 loops. Going to do a yarn over and pull through 2. So we have 2 loops in our hook. Yarn over, we're going to work right in this stitch here. Pull up our loop. So now we have 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2. So we have 3. Yarn over into the next stitch. So now we have 5 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. So we have 4. So lots of yarn overs. Yarn over again. We're going to work in the very next stitch here. Pull up our loop. We have 6 loops. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have a final 5. We're going to yarn over, pull through all 5 of those loops. And now we've worked 1 regular cluster. So to finish that off, we're doing a yarn over, or working our chain 1 there. So we've completed 1 full cluster there. So we're going to keep going, yarn over, work right in that chain 1, pull up our loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So there is a lot of yarn overs. We're yarning over right now, but once you get going, it is a pretty quick pattern, I think, because you're working across a bunch of stitches. So we've yarned over, we're going to insert right here, pull up our loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So we have 3 loops, yarn over. Now we're going to work in the next stitch. So we have 5, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 4, yarn over, work in the next stitch. So we're going to pull, so now we have 6. We do a yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have our final 5 here. So once we have our final 5, you can see they're all connected across. You do your final yarn over, pull through all 5. To complete it, work your chain 1. Now we worked another cluster. So we're going to do a yarn over, work right in the chain 1, pull through the 2. Oops, yarn over, pull through 2, just like that. Yarn over, work right in this stitch here. So we have 4, yarn over, pull through 2, so we have 3, yarn over, so we have our 5 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, so now we have 4. So as you get going, it definitely starts to make a whole lot more sense, and it is pretty simple, despite all the yarn overs. So there's 5 loops, do your yarn over, pull through, whoops, all 5. So to complete the cluster, work your chain 1. So now we're at our last stitch here. You're just going to work a double crochet right on top. of your skip chain 3. So we've completed row 2. So to do row 3, chain 3, turn, yarn over, we're going to work right in this stitch, pull up our loop, yarn over, so we have 2. To do yarn over, we're going to work in the next one. So if it's a little tricky to have your work like this to see where to put your hook, you can certainly turn it and then you see, looks like the row of chains on top. So we're going to put our hook in the next stitch, pull up our loop, we have 4, yarn over, pull through 2, so we're completing a half cluster, pull through the rest of those 3. So to complete it, chain 1, yarn over, work right in that chain 1, 3 loops, pull through 2, yarn over, working right in this stitch, 3, now we're going to go into the next stitch, so we have 4 loops, next stitch, now we have 5, our final 5, yarn over, pull through all 5 of those guys, chain 1. So we're working in our chain 1. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me say yarn over, yarn over. Could be a game. So there's our final 5, yarn over, pull through all those guys, chain 1 to complete it. So working in our chain 1. We just keep going across. There's our final 5, chain 1. So now we're at our last cluster, our half cluster, and you're just going to work a double crochet right in that half cluster. So now we've worked our 3rd row there. And so we can do a quick row 4. So you will chain 3, turn, yarn over, work your half cluster. So you pull through those final 3, chain 1 to complete it, and work right in your chain 1. And we're going to work right in that stitch there. And just keep going across till we have our final 5. Pull through, and we've made a full cluster, and we did our chain 1 to complete the cluster. And just keep going across. So since you're working a lot of stitches, it does go pretty quickly. And it looks pretty cool, I think. There's our last cluster for that row, and then we work on top of the half cluster from the previous row. So now we've worked 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of this stitch pattern. Thank you so much for watching.